If you're looking for a solid gaming headset from a reliable brand that's been around the block once or twice, the G435 is a great option. While this isn't perfect, and I'll get into its faults later in the video, this is a great solid pick for somebody that doesn't want terribly expensive headsets that just sound great. I'll have these linked down below for the most up-to-date pricing on Amazon, and speaking of Amazon, this sells incredibly well, placing 9th in PS4 headsets, 14th in PS5 headsets, and 22 in PC headsets. Out of the vast sea of competitors, these are extremely popular, and there's several reasons why. Let's take a look at some of those reasons and a few of the key points that I'll hit in this video. We're going to go over the design, the audio quality, the comfort, the weight, the pairing, the latency, battery life, and yeah, the microphone. More on that later. This has a sleek, mostly black design with a pop of personality with the lime green accent that isn't overwhelming. It's very easy to overlook the design as it's very understated and it just doesn't stand out like some of the competitors at this price point. I'd feel comfortable wearing this in my gaming setup, traveling on a plane or bus, even in professional environments like offices, or even a library. It's not in your face with wild colors, crazy RGBs, or even a swivel microphone. So I can feel comfortable gaming with these, but also just lounging around listening to music, not feeling like my headsets are looking out of place in my environment. The audio is great too. Probably the most important part, right? This has 40mm drivers that pack a solid punch while also being very balanced in its sound profile. Nothing is overblown or tinny, meaning I don't really hear distortion even at higher volumes. It's consistent across the board, so nothing is overwhelming my senses when I just want to hear enemies and shooters or hear that tree sentinel's footsteps in Elden Ring just taunting me at the start of the game. The high fidelity delivers clear and crisp audio that just sounds real for solid immersion. Speaking of immersion, what really helps me dive deep into the game I'm playing is not being bogged down by an uncomfortable or heavy headset. These are extremely comfortable in a few ways. First, it's very light. Coming in at 165 ounces, it is not too heavy to feel like it's weighing down my head or that it's going to leave an imprint in my hair. Probably my favorite aspect of these is the cloth ear cups, meaning it's incredibly breathable and my ears don't get sweaty or uncomfortable after a long gaming session. Leather plush cups that can be found in headsets like the PlayStation Pulse Elite or the Fine H9 are great, and honestly, they are way more comfortable than cloth ones can ever be, but it kind of has a time limit because it's only a matter of time until the heat builds up behind the cups, firmly sealing around your ears, and, well, I'm sure you can imagine what happens next. One thing to keep in mind, however, is that these aren't adjustable for different head sizes. That's very important, and I want to make sure you understand that, because even though these do open wide and the ear cups can accommodate most ear sizes out there, if you have a larger head, these might not fit well, so keep that in mind. Another thing I really enjoy is the ultra low latency, whether you're connecting by the general Bluetooth or by using the included USB dongle. One thing I wish this had, though, is a USB-C dongle instead of a USB-A, since it honestly would work with just about everything a lot better in my setup, like my Steam Deck directly in handheld mode, for example. The USB-A dongle is still good though, and I can use it with my Steam Deck when it's docked, and my PS5 and other devices too, so it's not the end of the world, but it would just make my life slightly easier if these were USB-C. Just thought that was worth mentioning for somebody that might care about that. The latency is not bad at all either. When you're connected to the dongle, I personally can't hear any delay or latency when I'm playing, whether that's fast-paced shooters, racing games, or others. When you're connected by regular Bluetooth though, there is a very slight delay, maybe a quarter of a second at most, that depending on the game isn't an issue. But if it's a competitive game where your inputs need to have as little of a delay as possible, then these might not be the ones for you. At least when it's in Bluetooth mode, just plug in your dongle for a better experience. Trust me, the last thing you want to have happen is have an explosion go off on screen and hear it 2 seconds later. Talk about getting sucked out of the moment. Another thing to mention is the solid battery life of about 18 hours on a full charge. For me, as somebody that has the time to game for maybe 2 to 3 hours, a day at the very most. One charge is enough to easily get me through a week and pop it on the charger when I'm done, so I'm ready to go for the following week. The only thing to consider is the slow charging speed, as it typically takes up to 2 hours for a full charge. As far as I know, there's no quick charge feature, meaning if you run out of battery mid-game and don't have a pair of backup headsets around, then you're out of luck while you wait for this to charge. One major criticism I have though, apart from all the little stuff that I've mentioned throughout the video, is the terrible mic quality. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to give it to you straight. As you might imagine with wireless headphones, the mic quality is way worse than a traditional plugged-in mic. Now, this might not be an issue if you are somebody that doesn't use a mic in games, or if you just don't really care about how clear you come across to the rest of your team, but it is something to consider, especially if you are participating in party chats very often. Another thing to keep in mind is that the microphone does not have any kind of noise isolation or AI noise rejection, so a lot more of your surrounding noise will get picked up on the mic. Here's a mic test to prove just how rough these are versus other headphones that are connected by 3.5mm connection. All right, so this is a mic test of the Logitech G435, and I am not doing any kind of audio editing to this. This is straight the volume that you're going to hear, the volume and just the overall quality of the microphone, just activating these and doing it in party chat. So we're going to do a quick little mic test so you can actually hear, what it sounds like, and let me know down in the comments what you think. Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends. Ring out the bells again, like we did when spring began. Wake me up when September ends. So the audio you're hearing right now is from the H9 detachable microphone. Let me know what you think from this microphone test. Let me know what you think down below. Yeah, these ain't it for me. So there you have it. The G435 is a really awesome pick for wireless gaming headphones. The comfort is enough to make this a staple in my own gaming setup, while knowing that I'm going to get a really crisp and punchy, but most importantly balanced audio profile. These are an incredible pick, as long as you're not trying to impress others with your mic quality. If you're curious about any other gaming headsets, check out this playlist for my favorite picks. Also, if you stuck around this long, drop a Logitech legend in the comments for sticking through to the very end. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.